Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to your English classes once again. So, students, since our last few classes, we have been doing the last chapter of your Part B book, that is, how the first letter was written. And in the last class itself, I gave you the overall summary of the whole story as well as few important question answers from this chapter. So students, although yesterday I gave you the textual question answers, but still some question answers have been remained from this chapter. Means the question answers relating to the quotations or relating to the quotes of the chapter still remain. And today I am going to give you that few remaining question answers. So at first, let me give it to all of you. So here the first quotation from the book is, "This is a wonderful child. She stamps her foot at me and makes faces." So students, this is the quoted line from which few short questions have been asked. And they are, number 1, who is the speaker? And the answer is, the stranger man is the speaker here. Number 2, who is he or she talking about? And its answer is, he is talking about Taffy. Number C, where are they? Your answer is, they are on the banks of Wagai River. Number D, why is she stamping her foot and making faces? She's stamping her foot and making faces because she wants him to bring her daddy's spear and he is not understanding her language. Okay, now the next question on this quotation is, was the speaker afraid? If so, why? And your answer is, yes, the speaker was afraid because he thought that Taffy was the chief Tegumai's daughter. And if he didn't do what Taffy was asking, then the chief would be angry. So students, these are the few important questions on this quoted line from the chapter. Now, let me show you another quote from the chapter. That is, now I will draw a message. So the first question on this quote is, who wrote the message? Your answer is, Taffy wrote the passage. Sorry, by mistake I have written passage, but it will be message, okay? The number B, what did the message say? Your answer is, the message said that Tegumai needed another spear. Number C, describe the message. And your answer is, Taffy drew a message to her mother on the birch bark. At first, she drew a broken spear of Tegumai and then the other spear that the stranger man needed to fetch for Tegumai. She also drew herself and the stranger man. Now the next question. Did the stranger man manage to deliver the message? Your answer is, the stranger man was able to give the picture to Teshumai, but he couldn't deliver the exact message that Taffy wanted to give her mother. Then the last question on this quotation, that is, what reception did stranger man meet with at Tegumai's house? The answer is the stranger man met with a terrible reception at Tegumai's house, as, after seeing that horrible picture, Teshumai thought that the stranger man had struck Taffy and her father. So Teshumai and the other ladies of the tribe knocked him down. They also hit him, filled his hair with mud, and rolled him up and down on pebbles. So, this is the answer, and these are the important quoted lines from the chapter. And with it, here we have finished our question answer session from this chapter. Now, student, there is an important exercise in your chapter which contains idioms. So, what are the idioms? To understand idioms, let us have a look at the few examples that I have mentioned here. So here the examples are: number 1, don't jump the gun, and number 2, I go out once in a blue moon. So students, here, aren't the sentences somewhat awkward? What is this, don't jump the gun, and what is this, walk once in a blue moon? In a blue moon. So you can see, can you jump the gun? No, na? Similarly, what is this, once in a blue moon? Blue moon, have you ever seen a blue moon? Or what is once in blue moon, right? So you can see these group of words, they are not signifying anything. You just can't figure out their meanings. Okay? But as a whole, when this group of words stands together, they do mean something. Number 1, don't jump the gun. The meaning of this sentence is that someone is telling someone to not to do something too hastily. And in number 2, I go out for a walk once in a blue means I go out for work very rarely. It means, students, the meaning of the words, group of words, jump the gun means something to do very hastily without thinking, and once in a blue moon, this expression means something that is very rarely. Okay? So you can see these words, group of words, they just don't go with each other, but when they put with each other at a stretch, then these do mean something else, okay, which you can't even imagine. So these kind of expressions which are different from the meaning of their individual words are called idioms. For a better understanding of idioms, let me show you the definition. An idiom is a group of words or a fixed expression that has a figurative or sometimes literal meaning. The meaning is usually different from the meanings of the individual words. So students, it means when a group of words stands together and they actually mean something different than they usually mean as a individual words are called idioms. So students, in the English language there are many more idioms. We have to learn most of them, okay? You can learn some commonly used idioms, and you can also use them in your day-to-day life, and they will only just enrich your way of talking and your way of expression, and it will make you a very good speaker of this language. So you should collect the meaning of those idioms, the easiest ones. Okay, you don't have to remember the very difficult idioms. You can just use some uh, commonly used idioms and use them in your day-to-day life. Now let me show you an exercise on idioms that is given in your book. So you can see it's a table. Here you have to match the given idioms to their meanings. Okay, so let me show you the answers. Here the first idiom is raining cats and dogs. So its meaning is raining heavily. The number 2 is bull in a china shop. It means a person who upsets things or plans. Number 3 is early bird catches the worm. It means if you do things on time, you stand to benefit. Number 4, hold your horses, which means be patient. 5, fish out of water. It means to be uncomfortable in some situation. 6, to be dog tired. It means very tired. 7, to pull a rabbit out of the hat. It means to surprise everyone. And number 8, to get a lion's share, which means to get the largest advantage. So these are the meanings of these idioms. Please learn all of them, okay? Now students, the question answers which I have given today as well as in yesterday's class, please write them neatly and correctly in your classwork copy. And no need to write this exercise in your copy, but instead you can write it down in your book itself, okay? So students, with this exercise, here I am ending our today's discussion.